Let's talk a little bit about menus and how menus, oh, there's just a beautiful blue bird that just came and landed on one of those bushes. Just beautiful. Let's talk a little bit about menus. Sorry about that aside. Menus derived from early on in windowing applications. I don't want to say Windows applications, but windowing applications, where there was a menu bar, a bar across the top with a few words on it, and you click on one of those words, and it'll drop down, and some other words will show up, and those words show you the kinds of things that you're able to do. That concept of menus that was first played out there has become really a big and a major concept in the design of web navigation. So you'll see a couple of different kinds of menus. The first kind of menu really works a lot like I just explained. It's some kind of word or a short phrase. Click on it, it drops down, maybe it cascades other levels, and it shows you all the different options for all the things that you can do, and also all the things that you can see. One of the things that's happened recently, I think, especially in the web, is that functionality, the ability to do things, and what you see, the information, are really kind of mixed. It used to be in applications, and you can still see this in many applications, non-web applications, that the content, the stuff you see, and your ability to do stuff are really very separated. The frame around the outside is all the things you can do, including that menu bar or whatever other button bars you have or whatnot. And the information, the things that you're working on, the things that you see are really separated in the center. And so in the web, those things have really become crossed, and functionality and information are really mixed together. And you may not have even thought that, that there was a distinction, but actually there was a distinction, and very early on that distinction was extremely clear. It's becoming more and more blurred now, so that you'll see interaction, functionality interspersed with information. And so this menu, the drop-down menu, the kind of maybe a pop-up menu or a context menu, or it may be tied to a certain area on the screen, like maybe on the global nav bar, as you see in the image on your page here, that can mix functionality and content. So some of the links there can be links to features like search, whereas other links are links to information. And we naturally combine all of those into one single menu. So first kind of menu is the drop-down menu. Second kind of menu is the expanding and contracting menu, kind of a table of contents type of menu. Still thought of as a menu because it has that I'll hesitate to say hierarchical look to it, where you have more and more indentation, more and more layers of menus that pop up or expand out from the core. And the things that we expect about those menus are that they'll have those features, that the features will be common, that we'll know how to work those features. And once again, a lot of this was invented. A lot of this had to be taught. The idea that you could have an outline, and that outline would expand and contract with little plus and minus buttons, or now we have triangles that are either turned horizontal or vertical. Vertical meaning that the thing is expanded, horizontal meaning that it's not expanded. All of those concepts were invented and taught. So a lot of the navigational widgets really have to be learned. They have to be understood, and they're incompletely understood by a lot of the people who use them. And so these are the problems we have with usability. That we invent a widget, we believe that its functioning is intuitively obvious. How could you not know that a triangle turned horizontally means closed and a triangle tilted down means open? As I say it that way, you might think, oh, why should it be that, right? But it's a taught behavior. Plus and minus is another taught behavior. We try to rely on metaphors from the outside world. The whole idea of a button on a website is what? It's just a harking back to before there were websites, there were physical devices, and those physical devices had buttons, and a button means push. Right? So all of those things were invented. They're all concepts that we've come up with, and we have to teach the users how to use. So each of these navigational widgets that we're talking about is a widget in that sense, in the sense that it's a mechanical device virtually mechanical device for getting something accomplished, and it has certain affordances, certain abilities, and it has to be taught. Its use has to be learned. So menus are a lot like that. We have the menu that drops down. We have the menu that expands out. Some of the things that we expect about those menus, one is that the things on the menu are comprehensive. And you'll see this coming up again in some other navigational widgets, but this is an important concept for you to understand. Some navigational widgets we expect to be comprehensive. We expect them to have all of the things that belong. So would it make sense to have a menu of quick links if some of the most asked for things weren't on that menu? Turning it around, when we drop down a menu of quick links, we believe that this is all of the important need to access all the time sorts of things. And if it's not on that list, we may think it doesn't exist. Not that they forgot to put it on that list, but it doesn't exist. Similarly, if you look at the table of contents menu that's on the left side of the diagram that's on your page here, we expect that to be a comprehensive table of contents, just like the table of contents of a book. Would you expect that some parts of the book aren't in the table of contents? No, it's a natural expectation that it's comprehensive, that all the parts of the book are in the table of contents. All the parts of the website are in that expanding and contracting menu. So that's some of the things that we expect from a menu. Those are some of the assumptions that we make from a menu. Let me see if there's anything else that I want to tell you about menus before we move on. That's pretty much it. The menus at the top of a window, interestingly enough, at least in the Microsoft Windows world, are being deprecated, meaning they're going away. They're not quite so prominent anymore. They used to be the main way that we navigated around an application, and now they're being replaced by and large by other navigational widgets, another applicational navigational widgets. But on the web, they're not going away at all. In fact, they are a major way that we navigate around the web.